Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is a continuation of MCU Sundays, which is this new thing I'm starting in 2023, having fun with it, where I take different tabletop RPGs and find areas within the MCU timeline where we can carve out a niche and tell a new story. Or in this particular example, we just make up whole cloth multiversal stories because you can do that. It's fun. We'll run this for a community known as the Open Hearth community. It's very cool. You should check out their website. And what I do is there's a RSVP website. I post up a game usually a couple months ahead of time. Folks will hop on. Folks who are part of the community can hop on and sign up to play in the game. We'll play it for a month. This is the April. Rich checks the calendar on his computer to make sure he's in the right month. This is the April game. We play it once a week on Sundays, hence the name MCU Sundays. The game that we are playing is called Primetime Adventures. Primetime Adventures is long in the tooth game from a story game perspective. Story games are a particular niche of tabletop RPGs that, at least from my notice, really jumped up in the early 2000s. Some of it was a reaction to Dungeons and Dragons. Some of it was a desire to have independently produced small shop, like onesie twosie folks creating games. And story games was a niche within the indie market where they wanted to really turn the more traditional style of RPG on its head and create mechanics to tell stories in different ways. Primetime Adventures is from Matt Wilson, Dog-Eared Designs, and it is in this third edition. The third edition came out in 2015. The original came out in very early 2000s. It was one of the first non-vampire, non-D&D-ish games that I got. And the idea behind Primetime Adventures is that you make the TV show that never was. It uses cards and tokens or poker chips as the mechanics, and it has a very writer's room approach in that I am not a GM, I am the producer, and each of the players have characters that are the protagonists, their protagonists in the TV series. We even chart out episodes for spotlight presence. It's very cool. There are lots of neat aspects to PTA that I've quite enjoyed. It's an odd fit for a monthly series because generally the goal of PTA Primetime Adventures is longer arcs, but it's workable. And luckily I have three excellent players with me who are new to PTA but excellent gamers nonetheless and good storytellers. So we're making it work. Our series is Nightcrawler, a single named series because we are exploring the idea of the multiverse, a la Loki. If you have seen the Disney Plus Loki series where there are multiple Lokis, this is a series where there are multiple Nightcrawlers. They are all, interestingly enough, in our session 0, we talked about different characters that could have a multiversal aspect to it and ended up with Nightcrawler and pulled apart some of the main core aspects of Nightcrawler to create 3 different representations or iconic representations of Nightcrawler. I've quite enjoyed it. And we came up with a loose idea, which we should tighten up because we have 2 sessions left, a loose idea that the multiversal aspect was tied to the teleportation of Nightcrawler. In the second episode, which is the name for PTA's game sessions, in the second episode, the 3 Nightcrawlers came together and realized that something was wrong. And in the end of the second episode, they all ended up in the world of Old Man Kurt. So we are going to go through and have each folks, because we took last week off, so a little bit of reminder. So we'll start from the right-hand side of the character keeper and have each of you introduce yourself and remind us just a bit about your Nightcrawler. So we will start off with my buddy Andesh. If you could introduce yourself and tell us about your Nightcrawler.
Yeah, I'm Anders. I use the he/him pronouns. My Nightcrawler is Captain Crawler, who is an Age of Sail pirate captain with a crew of young mutants whom he is trying to keep safe from the Sentinels, who are agents of the king, maybe. Yeah, now he's been transported into a strange new place with modern technology and weird things going on.
Thank you very much, Andesh. Next up is Adrian.
Hi, my name's Adrian, him pronouns. I play Father Knight, version of the Nightcrawler, also him pronouns, who is a undercover or was a hidden Catholic priest in 17th century England, early 17th century England, and was involved in some assassination attempts on the king, gunpowder plot, and so on, and also now has been teleported to the modern New York and will try to find his way there.
Excellent. And then last but not least is Marley.
Hey, I'm Marley, she, her pronouns. I am playing Old Man Kurt, he, him pronouns. So basically imagine the MCU, except modern society is continuing on with all the stuff we've learned. Like aliens are fairly commonplace at this point. The United Nations includes nations from Atlantis and other worlds and stuff like that. And you walk down the street and you see lots of different kinds of beings. Kurt is old and tired, and has serious doubts about how much good he really did in the world. Still occasionally he gets bitter about that, but we are in his apartment, which is a converted cathedral, the cathedral he used to go to in his more religious times, but it was going to be torn down, so he bought it and had it renovated, and now that's where he lives. So he has seen all the things. Nothing phases him anymore. He just wants people to leave him alone and leave it to the younger generation so he can move on.
If you could, Marley, because one of our wishes from last session was to understand a bit about why Old Man Kurt is all grizzled and sad. Help us in a cinematic way. We'll paint the scene here. If you could, within Old Man Kurt's apartment, cathedral, like his living domain within the cathedral, what are a couple of things that we the audience, that the camera pans over? What are things that we see that show perhaps a one or two of Kurt's victories, which could totally be a Easter egg of something in Nightcrawler comics, and what is one or two, and I'm just going very tropey, like newspaper articles or something that shows one of the tragedies that perhaps has caused Kurt to be so fatalistic?
Let's see. So there's photos. Like they're a little tucked away and they're a little dusty at this point, but there's some photos from his younger days, all in uniform, bright and shiny with his other people. There's a picture of him and Nocturne, just sort of like with their tongue sticking out at the camera. Very, very silly. There's a pile of infinity stones just kind of stuck in a corner somewhere, or at least what the audience will recognize as infinity stones. Of course, surely they are not, because how could that possibly work? Then there's a bunch of little and then the thing that we'll see that sort of brings some poignancy to it is there's almost like the an offerenda, where there's some pictures of of various people that he knew with a little lit candle next to it. And we see people like Professor X, and we see, there's a bunch of different little cameos, maybe someone from the Fantastic Four. Yeah, Black Panthers and stuff like that, where we're seeing an array of people that he has said goodbye to over the years.
Ooh, I like it. That's good. So his tragedy, a bit of his tragedy, is that he has just outlived all of his friends. That's
Yeah, not everyone survives being a superhero. So.
it's a tough gig. Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice. Thank you for that. As a reminder, here in Old Man Kurt's apartment are not only Captain Crawler, but also First Mate Kitty Pryde. Not only Father Knight, but also daughter Nocturne from alternate universe. So interesting that we have a picture of this Nightcrawler and this universe's Nocturne, as well as the
let's add that then too. Let's so there's a picture of Galactic Senator Catherine Pryde being sworn into her new office.
Yes, thank you for that callback there, because I went and found the most business-like Kitty Pryde pick that I could, and it's not super business-like. It actually looks kind of like a spy, but that's what I got. Senator Catherine Pryde is in our supporting cast tab on the second row. So I also found a great pic of Kitty Pryde from Marauders that looks so piratical. I had to throw that in there. Anyway, isn't that just the best? Like, it's just so good. Super curly hair, though. I love it. And BAMFs. There are lots and lots of BAMFs. So, thank you for that scene setting. And I think, since it is Old Man Kurt's Spotlight episode, let's have you lead off with our opening scene if you've got an idea.
Sure. So the scene opens and it's sort of like this orchestrated chaos.
Got to pull you back to some mechanics. I apologize. That's okay. It's really simple. But the first thing we have to do is decide, is this a character scene, which is based on your impulse, or is it a plot scene where you may or may not get what you want out of it?
I think it's a plot scene because Kurt is trying to get all this done so that the multiverse can get fixed and everyone can go home.
Grumpy. Yeah. Resume. Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. So we see him, and he's like, so it's all kind of, he's like sort of in this weird whirlwind of motion where he's like, okay, he's got a video call open on a computer, and he's got like, and he's talking to, we see the Avengers screen there, and he's like, yeah, it's some kind of multiverse thing. Do we have anything going on with like interdimensional multiverse problems? Where's my transponder? Should check in with a, just in case it's some sort of Mojoverse foolishness. Where's the holographic display? And he's like, just sort of like trying to just grab things and check in with various people and trying to get some insights as to what's going on.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I see this like widescreen that's floating up, maybe isn't on a physical space, but it's more like a hollow screen, and it's a multi-Zoom call type deal. You've got Avengers and the remainders of the Fantastic Four, and maybe off in the corner, it's someone on a spaceship, and perhaps it's the Starjammers. We're not sure. There will be lots of people who talk about it on forums. And I let's see, I think you killed a Fantastic Four member, and now I am just buzzing in my head of which one it was. Who was the picture of in the offerendum or offerenda? Who was the Fantastic Four? Like, who's not on this call?
Oh,
or are we seeing like next generation Fantastic Four? Is this shoot.
Yeah, I think he's on the call with Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin. No, who's this? The daughter?
Could be the daughter. I don't know Fantastic Four super well, but
okay, no worries. Good. Then we don't have to correct each other. Yeah, but I remember there was some really fun stuff with Future Foundation. So yeah, all right. So you're on the phone with Franklin Richards, son of Reed and Sue Richards, and is Thing around? Like, I'm imagining Thing with just a huge ass beard, like a big, ugly, gnarly mountain man beard that just comes through the rocks in a very awkward way, and it's patchy. Are we okay
let's say that. Like, he's the way Rock ages, like, has sort of made him more interesting looking, where like he's on the one hand, some of the rocks have gotten smoother, but he's also developing some stalactites. So he's got like some pointy bits. He's very craggy looking these days.
That's great. I like that. Franklin says, this is interesting and new. I have to say, honestly, I wasn't aware. This wasn't on my radar, but now that you're bringing it to my attention, it appears to be localized around you, Kurt. I'm sorry to say. But the good news is that I don't think that the universe is under threat. This is just a you problem, Kurt.
A me problem. Wonderful. He'll like so when we say it's a me problem, how many me's are we talking about? And he points to the other two Nightcrawlers in the room.
The thing like leans his head in and says, "Shit, 3 of yous?"
That we know of.
Franklin pulls down and starts swiping and tapping away on some virtual keyboard. Looks like a total of 4 different Nexes are impacted. I think it's a little vague. One of them's moving quite a bit.
Moving?
Teleportation, the thing you do, your power. By the way,
that's
still
what,
curious about how you pulled that.
It's some sort of interdimensional something. We researched it back in the day, and I don't remember. But yeah, we all came together when we were trying to teleport.
Oh wow, that's fascinating. So let's see. I feel like we might be stepping on the door of a potential flip of some cards, and I like to engage the system when we can because it's always exciting. So let's build out a roll here. A roll. So we have. What is it that you want? I think you want some answers. Does that feel fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So the plot scene is you get what you want or you don't get what you want, and then you either keep it together or your impulse is provoked. Those are the results of a plot scene. So I will say that the universe doesn't want you to know what's going on. So I'm going to drop a hefty 4 chips in as we shift over to look at our screen. Oh, what was that fan mail for? I want to know. Someone gave some fan mail.
That's for the thing's scraggly beard. That's
Yes, that was really fun. Cool. So I'm going to recall all and shuffle. So you are, as at the start, Old Man Kurt, you get 3 cards because of your screen presence. In this particular scene, it feels like you are trying to engage with your retired superhero. Is that an edge you want to use up for a card here?
Sure. And we're also, I believe, in my base, my personal set.
You are. So you're going to refresh, and the other 2 characters are down to 1 checks because of their screen presence. So you're in your personal set. What that does is refresh. So all your edges and connections are up to 3. Do you want to? The Bamfs are here. Do you want to use that connection to get yourself another card, or are you happy with the 4 you have?
Sure. Let's get myself another card. I see no
Right.
reason to. We only have 1 more session after this. What are we saying?
I know. All right. So I'm going to uncheck one of your retired superheroes and uncheck one of your Bamfs. You have 2 each of those. Now,
How many fan mails do I have?
you look like you have 2 right now. Paltry
Okay,
2.
so I got 5 cards. You're playing 4 cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll do a fan mail as well.
All right. So we'll put that on top of the fan mail. If it is red, then I get that fan mail back. Otherwise, it will just disappear. Poor Father Knight has no fan mail to spend. Captain Crawler, do you want to hold on to that fan mail that you have, or you want to buy a card in this conflict here?
Anesh?
Talking to mute, Andesh? Okay, maybe you had to step away.
Yep.
Oh, there was a chat, I think. Oh, BRB. Got a phone call. All right, well, he doesn't get to buy anything. There we go. That's my ruling. All right, so I'm going to flip my cards and let's see how this goes. Remember, we are looking for reds. So there's my first red. Oh, man. Oh, not a very good flip. Answers are going to be had. Let's see. Do we get... Nope. This disappears. Ooh. Can't remember how to make it die, but oh. Nope. I'll figure it out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are there going to be any red cards? Oh, there's a red card. So you're tied. Do you have... Oh. Oh, man. What? There's so many black cards. That's crazy. That is crazy. All right, let's resolve it here. So the first question we have on our rules summary is, do you have more red cards than the producer? 1 and 1. The answer is no. Is your highest card higher than the producers? The answer there is Queen and Ace against a bunch of paltry low cards. So yes, it is a no, but. Okay, so no, but plot related is you don't get what you want, you don't get answers from the universe, but you keep it together. Okay. Your impulse is fatalistic, right? Anger. No. Yeah, anger is your impulse. Right. Issue is fatalistic. Okay. So Franklin puzzles for a bit. There's some conversation with members of the Avengers. What's a new member of the Avenger that shows that, oh, this was a kid in the MCU perhaps, but now is a grown-up? Sorry for the random question, but I'm super curious about.
I'm trying to remember who the kids are in the MCU.
Well, there's Morgan, the daughter of the Starks. There's other kids. Cassie Lang from Quantumania. There's a bunch in the MCU. There could be Kate Bishop.
Yeah. So let's go with Cassie Lang.
Nice.
A
So
grown-up Cassie Lang.
Is she like in
Um,
her 30s? Just so people can like do the math of how old is Kurt? According to this timeline, I figured out that old man Kurt is actually X years old.
Yeah. I actually have not watched the Ant-Man movie, so she's
haven't
she's
yet
around 10
either.
in those.
I think she was like early teens is the actress that they chose, I believe. It's fine.
Okay, so let's say she looks around 40.
Oh, nice.
It's not like she's like pulling out her driver's license or anything like that. So
exactly. I like that. That's good. Good answer. Awesome. Good. So there's some consultation.
And let's say, just to make it more interesting, she doesn't look fully human anymore. She's got like some ant antenna coming out of her forehead.
Oh, and it doesn't look mechanical?
No, it looks organic.
Oh, wild. Oh, ooh, that's good. Good. That's really good. I like the way you think. Franklin says, well, it's unclear exactly where the fourth is, but I'll see what I can do about whipping up a locator that you can use that would also, of course, teleport with you. And it's going to take me a little bit of time. This isn't time sensitive, right? I do have a queue of things I need to take care of.
I mean, is it?
Like I said, I don't think that any universes are at stake. It is generally a you problem. So I'm going to put you at a mid-rank queue. All right. Good. Good luck, Kurt. And then he moves to end his part of the call.
Yeah. And after he hangs up, Kurt mutters, "And I changed your diapers."
Yeah, right before he ends the call, you see on his side of the call a Bamf appear, and then phew, it's ended. It's one of the Bamfs that's just decided to go to visit.
That's going to make it a him problem.
So, stymied in your attempt to understand what's going on from a super science approach, what do you wish to do?
Kurt,
maybe pass the torch. Maybe we check in and see if Father Knight has a scene he's interested in. Does that sound okay? You are a screen presence of 1. You're a support character, but I am always interested in Father Knight. So.
I think Father Knight is probably checking out like the cathedral and any decorations that might be there, and is kind of lost, like in the background, kind of lost in thought, looking at the stuff, and to see what is still here. Like, are there any signs that that any religious activity might have still be happening here, or has Old Man Kurt left that all totally behind? That's kind of, I think, the starting interest.
You're curious about this Kurt and his relationship to the faith. Oh, that's fascinating, and very, very motivated by Father Knight. Is this a character scene or a plot scene?
I think a character scene.
All right. Then your character scene is really about your impulse and not information. So, yeah, now we know mechanically how it's set up. What does Father Knight do in the space? We see Old Man Kurt in some weird high-tech conference call, and you're left to your own devices in this old cathedral.
I think Friday night's watching the call, and kind of, there's probably benches to sit down on, the pews, and he's sitting there. Is there, like, there's probably still a cross hanging, like a big cross somewhere up there. And
Yeah, there's probably like a crucifix because it's Catholic, but yeah, I don't think he would have taken it down.
so I think after the call, maybe I think Father Knight kind of motions Old Man Kurt to come over, because he seems to be a bit lost on what to do next. Like, that's at least what Father Knight gathered from half listening in on the call. Maybe we should pray to see what next steps we should take. Don't you think?
Kurt sighs and says, well, if we did finish the science angle, we could start looking into magic and gods. Gods are always an option. Do have some Asgardians I could talk to. It didn't feel like an Asgard thing though. But sometimes the Lokis have some ideas.
Are they around? I mean, I was just thinking more about, the big one, the one god. But if that's
you mean like Thanos?
If you have some gods available to talk about what we should be doing, maybe that is interesting. This is also different here from first we were on the pirate ship, and now here, also far away from the concerns that I seem to have, that I had. I feel a bit overwhelmed, but if I can be of help, talking to these gods, maybe that would be something I could be of service in.
Kurt sort of rubs his forehead like there's a headache coming on and says, well, yeah, so it turns out that there are in fact gods who walk around, or people that some people call gods, and so there's this god, and he sort of vaguely points to the crucifix, and I don't really know that one. I haven't actually met. If he's around, I'm not sure. I don't particularly feel like paying a lot of attention if he does. But yeah, there's others we could talk to. But yeah, teleportation isn't really their thing. They're more at least the ones I'm familiar with, it's a lot of hitting things. I'm not sure this is a hitting thing sort of problem.
Well, I feel I've been brought here for a reason. So if you have anything that I could help you with, maybe that would bring me closer to my purpose here. It seems like your friend, kind of motioning towards where she was taking the call, where he was taking the call, is not really, well, didn't really offer any help, did he?
I mean, Franklin will come through eventually, unless he gets distracted, or unless there's a nuclear bomb somewhere, or intergalactic invasion, and there pretty much always is. He's probably right. This is an us problem. We don't
So
rank.
what can we do right now?
What can we
The
do right
three of
now?
us. I mean, we are three, you know. Three of us with these powers. Maybe we can solve this problem on our own.
That's probably the most reliable route. Doesn't pay to rely on others too much. Okay, so right, if the three of us get together, Franklin did tell us that there was a fourth. So maybe the three of us should come together and try and reach out, try and teleport to where the fourth is.
Sounds like something we should do, because you seem to have a lot of experience in this world. And it doesn't seem to have put you in the best of moods.
He shrugs.
But maybe if we can solve
It's
this
always
problem here
something.
for you, you know, it might help all of us.
Okay. Captain Crawler, is it? Maybe yeah, maybe the three of us can try and find this fourth.
Let's teleport then.
Mhm.
Cool. I think Andesh is still away. Do we want to take a quick break here to give him a chance to catch up? All right,
Sure.
cool. We'll pause here. Cool. We get back from our commercial break, and the three Nightcrawlers, you guys have decided you're going to try to teleport together. Kitty and Nocturne and several Bamps all huddle in close because they're going to horn in on this scene too. Old Man Kurt, how do you guide them to try to teleport with a purpose here? What do you do?
So first he pauses for a minute and he says, well, hopefully we won't have to call her, but just in case. And he grabs like a couple of mystical artifacts out of a corner. Actually, he like has to grab he like pulls them out of a shoebox that's kind of dusty and and tosses them in pockets. It's a little unclear exactly what it is. It's like, okay. So how about the three of us hold hands with the others in the middle to try and make sure we all go at the same time. And we're going to try and reach out. No, we're not all three going to hold hands. We're going to hold hands, except there's going to be a break where the fourth one's supposed to be. And we're going to reach out our empty hands for that fourth. Okay?
Cool. Now, this was Father Knight's scene, and we didn't actually move to any conflict resolution. And Father Knight, you had made this, you decided you wanted this scene to be a character scene. So I think as all these plans are being made, I'm really curious how you're reacting to this, because your issue is guilt and your impulse is that you're self-destructive. We just heard that your God is one of many gods, and you've been thrown into this world that doesn't seem to understand you. I think that would be something you're going to have to fight against. Does that feel right, or am I not clear on where?
I think so, especially in regard to Yeah, what effect this has on Father Knight's thinking and his role in this mission, in this endeavor. So
Cool. So let's talk very briefly. If we flip cards, I feel like you're trying to resist your impulse to be self-destructive here. Does that feel right?
yeah, because I think Father Knight is kind of looking for the reason why he has been brought here, and so maybe this kind of reckless self-destructiveness might be something that he gets into here in the next couple of scenes if he can't control that.
Okay. Oh goodness, I hear a sick kid in the background. So rough. Cool. Let's have you flip some cards then. You are in rough straits because you have only a screen presence of 1. You start with 1 measly card. So let's recall all, and shuffle. All right.
I'll help out with the fan mail.
And I've got some mail I used last time. So we get 1 measly card for Father Knight. This one's Father Knight's. Oh, don't want to do that. All right, and then 1 card for Spotlight Presence, and I'm just gonna do. Let's talk real quick about a character scene. Resisting an impulse, giving into an impulse, silver lining consequences. Interesting. Okay, cool. I'm gonna spend 3. All right. Don't forget, there was some pretty cool stuff in the last scene, and we were all falling down on assigning audience pool fan mail. That's one of the fun bits of the game. So do be giving fan mail to each other if you like things that folks are doing. It can be the most capricious of reasons. It's a mechanic that should
I
flow.
think I retroactively give one to Old Man Kurt for his comment about gods that only can hit things.
Yes, that was so good. Excellent reason for fan mail. Good. Then, with all that out of the way, it looks like we will flip some cards. Let's see what you got.
I think I want to use the edge of
Oh.
Catholic priest.
Oh,
Which
absolutely.
makes sense here.
Totally makes sense. So you can go ahead and uncheck that edge. You took care of it. Thank you very much. And I'll give you another card. Ooh, perfect. Oh, only 1 red card. Let's see how it goes. Oh no. So not only do you not have more red cards than the producer, you do not have the highest card. So it is #worst timeline. You do not have more red cards than producer, and you do not have the highest card. Therefore, in the character scene, you give in to your impulse of being self-destructive, and there are consequences. Oh, I like this. How do you feel Father Knight's self-destructive impulse causes this scene to tilt as Old Man Kurt tries to give everyone direction to pull this 4th Nightcrawler in? I've got the consequence.
And maybe that Father Knight is the first one to react if that's if the 4th Nightcrawler appears and reacts in a reckless way.
I think what's going to happen, just to give you a cue, if that helps, is that you guys are going to teleport to where the 4th Nightcrawler is, but the 4th Nightcrawler resists your attempts to pull him into this ring, and since that could be something you can be self-destructive about. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Okay. The three of you work together to teleport, trying to summon this fourth Nightcrawler. And you feel that pull of movement that you always feel when a teleportation initiates. And when you come out of the teleport and we smell the sulfur and brimstone, hear the slight cough of one of the bamfs, you find yourselves, well, in a very alien environment that I don't know. I know Father Knight has never been to Limbo. Do we imagine Captain Crawler has ever been to Limbo?
No, pretty sure yes.
I thought not, but I wanted to check in. And Limbo is this very colorful, almost Quantumania. If you've seen some of the commercials for Quantumania, alien landscape. But as all three of you and your compatriots are pulled through into Limbo, you see that there are red-skinned, not looking well, red-skinned, tailed, winged, horned demons here, and there is one among them who you, Old Man Kurt, recognize. It is the demon known as Belasco. Does Marley know Belasco? Hopefully.
I recognize the name. I'm doing a quick lookup to remind myself who that is. But if you want to give us a quick summary, that would help.
You bet. So Belasco is a demon, and I will show a pretty cool picture of Belasco in just a sec here. I pull it onto my display screen. Belasco is a demon who was pulled into Limbo and ruled it for a time. He has had conflict with Ilyana Rasputin magic as well as Amanda Sefton magic. He had a sword, the sword that we see Amanda wielding. This sword was taken from him, and he is, of course, promised retribution. So he and a horde of demons are what you guys are pulled into, and Belasco, with a obviously filtered and special effects laden voice and appearance, says, good, perfect, you foolish little Kurtz. Chain and use all of you. And then the demons rush forward, flashing forward to attack you and the Bamfs and Kitty Pryde and Nocturne. And we have a large fight sequence because it's the MCU. So that's a thing that we should do, right? Fighting? That's what gods do. So the mortals should as well. I'd like to let Captain Crawler, because this is kind of your element, being the swashbuckling, I'd like you to frame up this scene. Is this a character scene or a plot scene for you?
Seems like a plot scene, I think.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this is a plot scene. What plot do you want out of this? What do you want to try to tackle or resolve?
Well, find out something about what's going on, I guess. Like maybe Velasco will reveal something while we're fighting. That's the typical way these things go.
Excellent. Well, let's carry forward into the scene because I want to see you describe some awesome action sequences for us to spend budget on, and then we'll come to a conflict when it feels right. We'll hit the cards when it feels right. If that's okay. So what does this look like? How does Captain Crawler, swashbuckling pirate that he is, and his first mate Kitty, how are you dealing with this horde of demons? And I'm seeing mixtures of Escher's idea of gravity being subject to aspects of where you are, and
Yeah.
yeah, I think the demons also have lots of, like, they don't teleport, but there's definitely agile, crazy CGI jumping around excitement happening, and Belasco himself.
Yeah, I'm imagining like big floating rocks, that sort of thing. With
Yes, yes.
so I think we still can trust our teleportation. So for us night crawlers, there's a lot of acrobatics, like leaping around and using these rocks as platforms to leap on the demons and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And for Nocturne as well, she came with us, right?
Yes, you guys have your supporting cast
Yeah.
with you.
And the band, they're like tricking the demons into flying into the rocks, that sort of thing. And Kitty is, I think me and Kitty are working together a lot. Like
Nice.
we'll do some acrobatics. I will like launch her at one of the demons, and she will phase through it and attack another one in the back, and that sort of.
Nice. What do we see Father Knight, who was suffering from the failure to fight against his impulses? How are you reacting to all of these, as far as you can tell, literal demons attacking the group?
I think uh, Father Knight is actually rushing forward because he feels like this is. I think his world is in, at least in his head, it's always been full of demons, but he's never been here. And I think this is kind of a feeling that this is the moment that he has been brought here for. So I think he will get right into the action,
Nice.
possibly
Is
endangering himself.
is he an effective fighter? He was a spy, a saboteur,
Mm,
and a potential assassin. But
yeah.
how does he fare
Um,
against these demons?
I think he will trust in God's power, basically, like try, like more like an exorcist, you know,
Mm-hmm.
trying to call on the power of God to support him in this. Like, you shall not pass, you know, this sort of thing in a Christian way.
Interesting. I like that. And then last but not least, it is your spotlight episode, Old Man Kurt. You're in limbo fighting Belasco's demons. I don't think this is the first go round for you doing this kind of thing. What do we see Old Man Kurt doing here?
So we see him um, holding his own, and he is, yeah, first he sees them and he's like, okay, one of these. And he has fought these guys before. He knows how it works. So he is going around being very effective against them. He would be better if he was able to teleport, but it's not his first time not being able to teleport. So he's good at that too. But the interesting thing we're seeing is his tail. So like he is going around and fighting with his arms and legs, but with his tail, he has pulled some of the stuff out of his pockets that we saw him quietly sort of grab before he left. Um, and he has some sort of glowing um, um, rock, and he is painting sigils in the air.
Are these? I assume these sigils are magical. Are they like limbo
They're
magic?
magical.
What? Ooh, are they limbo magic stuff or?
Yeah, yeah. This is total straight up limbo magic.
Yeah, love it. That's awesome. That is awesome. Cool. So, Captain Crawler, you and your brothers, twins, other yous, you are taking it to these demons. The Bamps, Kitty, Nocturne are all in a pitched battle. There are some dramatic wounds that folks get so that they can have just a little bit of like blood placed, but they're going to be fine. Next scene is just the way it goes. Uh, Captain Crawler, let's come down to some cards. Let's flip some cards. I'm going to recall and shuffle. Move those 3 I spent before into the ever-growing gigantic pile of fan mail. I appreciate that some fan mail has been moved around. Good work, everybody. Man, we've only been playing for a little over an hour. That's amazing. This game's moved pretty quick. I'm gonna run out of chips, so I think I'm gonna say this one's kind of low stakes. I'm spending a mere 2. Captain Crawler, because of your screen presence, you're going to get 1 for this flip. I'll put that right there. Does anyone want to spend fan mail to get some more cards? I've got 2.
Sure, I'll send him one.
All right.
I'll spend 1 myself as well.
Let's put those separate so you guys know. This is the one that Marley spent for. This is the one that Undesh spent for.
I think I'm also spending 1.
All right. And there's the one that Father, that Adrian spent for. All right. Let's see how this goes. So we flip. Oh, you're probably going to have high card.
Yeah.
And you have a red. So that gets me that back to my budget. This was, I believe this was yours, right, Andesh?
Yeah.
All right. And then this one was the one that Marley purchased. Put it back over there. And another red. So I get more. Yes, this is the way it should work. Except 2 reds. So boom. Oh, that's pitiful. That's as bad as it gets. And but ace is high. So you have more red cards than the producer, and you have the high card. That is amazing. So we move these 2 over. These go away. And I will recall and shuffle. So this was, oops. Uh-oh, where are you? Here you are. I added a picture of Franklin because I liked it. All right. So this was a plot scene. You do have more red cards. Your highest card is higher. So for a plot scene, you get what you want and you keep it together. What you wanted was it to defeat the demons in Belasco, drive them away, or was there something else that was your?
My key thing was to get some information about what's going on.
Nice. Okay, then let me ask you: do you think that when the demons cut and run to live to fight another day, that you capture Belasco, or you guys follow Belasco back to?
Ooh. I think we capture him. Like he is the other demons, they turn and run, and he's left there all alone. And with 3 night crawlers plus support, that's not going to work out for him. So we like knock him down, take the sword, that sort of thing.
Nice. You knock him down. You take the sword that he evidently had wrested away from Amanda Sefton, and you have him at your mercy for now, or so it seems to be. let's hand the talking stick back to our spotlight persona. Old Man Kurt, the demon Belasco, is captured and at the mercy of you and your fellow Nightcrawlers.
And after making sure he's secure, he is still, his tail is working. He's still doing these limbo sigils, and as he puts the last stroke into place, he turns back around, and we see that it is a communication portal of some kind. And
Ooh.
we see him quickly fix his hair and then say, "Hi, Amanda, I'm in limbo."
Nice. Oh, did you find my sword?
1 second. He turns around. Oh, look, there's the sword there. He grabs it, holds it up.
Oh, thanks. You could just drop it by my place, I guess.
Okay. Are you still in charge? Because I've got Belasco here all tied up.
Oh, yeah, it's complicated.
Mhm.
Yeah, we've kind of come at odds again. He took the
Mhm.
sword, he claims domain over Limbo, but you've got the sword back, so thanks.
Yeah.
How are you?
Um,
Good? You okay? It's been a bit.
yeah. You know, here fighting things. There's three of me now, some sort of multiverse thing going on. Maybe Belasco's fault. You
Yeah,
don't,
I could see
yeah.
that.
Okay. How are you? Civil War sounds like
Yeah,
maybe.
Civil War, uh, demons rising, you know, nothing
Okay.
I can't handle. Appreciate the assist, though.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, yeah,
Multiple of
anytime, I
you?
guess. Yeah, yeah. We've got some kind of old-timey priest here and a pirate, looks like.
Ooh, that sounds interesting. I guess since you're fighting Belasco, you're in limbo, so I guess you could stop by.
Yeah, yeah. Sure, sure, we'll do that. We'll stop by. Yeah, it'll be great.
Well, do you know where I am?
Okay.
I'll
Um,
see you soon.
sure. Yeah, I'll bring the sword and Belasco, I guess.
I guess. God,
Yeah.
such a
Do you have
turd.
like a dungeon or something? Oh, it's Limbo. Of course you have a dungeon.
It's limbo, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
spruce up the dungeon or something.
Yeah.
Okay, see you
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah. Bye. Uh, and it like closes and he's like, bye. I'm like, bye. Like I was being very awkward. So,
Yes, that was maximum awkwardness. I loved it.
mhm.
How do you travel to her palace? Guess we'd call it a palace. Would we call it a palace?
Sure. It's a palace. Um,
Do we have a travel scene here for talking about feels?
yeah, that works for me. And we could also like do a little bit of interrogation as we go.
That's true. That absolutely could totally be a thing you could do.
So Kurt, like they're like starting to move and they're hauling Belasco after them, and he goes up to Belasco as he's like walking around and casually just kind of like swatting, poisonous plants that like have weird tendrils that are like trying to eat them, and he's just like, yeah, whatever. And he's like, so I can't help but remember during your villainous exposition that you were talking about changing teleporters together.
Oh, you caught that
I
part, huh?
take,
Okay, I'm glad
yeah,
you pay
yeah,
attention to
I
my
do pay
master
attention.
plan.
Yes, yes. So tell us about this master plan, since we've got some ways to go.
It sounds like we may have framed a plot scene.
Mhm.
So let's see if let's just move and see if he's going to spill or if it's going to take something further to motivate him.
Yeah,
Let's do
yeah.
it. He's just burning through his cards like a maniac. This is unwise, but I love it.
Mhm.
I will spend another 2. You have a lot of screen presence. Oh my. Ooh. Yeah, give myself 2 cards. Do you want to use any of your traits here?
Uh,
Definitely.
I mean,
Got
I
all
did
access to
totally
all
pull
3.
in Amanda.
I think that's great. We'll mark that off and give you another card. Do you want to use Bamf's or Retired Superhero or hold on to it?
Let's use Bamps as well.
All right, mark it off and I'll give you another card.
How many cards am I up to?
5.
5.
Right there.
Surely 5 is enough. Okay.
5 will be enough, but don't call me Shirley. All right. Any fan mail expenditures or any fan mail grants that folks want to give during that scene?
I'll spend a fan mail. I just have the one.
Okay. Nope. All right. We're going to start the turn. Do you want to go ahead and turn your cards over, Marley? Since you got 5. I'm excited. Let's dramatically
Okay.
reveal your cards.
Okay, first we'll do Anesh's. Ooh, starting us off strong.
Wow. Oh, I'm doomed. Holy cats. Oh, man, there's no way I can win.
Yeah, yeah.
This is looking amazing.
Oh, look at this hand.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
That is ugly. Man, and I thought my 2 reds would be good, but they're useless in the face. Let's see. I think Andeshus gets me budget back, so that's good. These will pop over to. Wow, you get everything. You have more, higher card, and this was plot, so it's yes and, right? Yes and. So you get what you want and you keep it together.
Yeah, Kurt's totally like, oh yeah, never mind. It's like your plans are never that complicated. You probably just was doing something like, you were probably just gonna like you're faking it. You're just making it up as you go along.
No, foolish Kurt. No. You see, by gathering together multiple Nightcrawlers, I gain access to travel wherever I want in the multiverse. You are just the engine. I will control all of the limbos in every multiverse. You've fallen into my trap. He's still trying to make this sound like he's in control, but you have used limbo magic and he's been captured. And I will never reveal where the other Kurt is.
It's true. I personally would not reveal that, but I would, also, teleportation doesn't work so much the distance. So
So
he starts
little.
looking around. So he can't be too far away now, could he? Or her. Or them. I mean, don't want to be prescriptive about this.
Yeah, Belasco's like, he shuts up. He's not talking anymore. He's quiet. How are you guys getting there? Are you on some? Are you walking? Are you on some kind of limbo vehicle of some kind?
Yeah, so I think there's okay, let's spitball some stuff. So we're so first we had to walk a little bit. Um
I have an idea
oh
for
oh
a vehicle.
bring it.
Like
Bring it.
we take because he had the Blasco had this big cloak, so we rig that as a sail on one of these floating rocks, and we're using that to move through limbo.
Oh heck yeah, fan mail for you.
That's so good. Kitty, of course, is super excited about this because this is in her wheelhouse. So she's throwing out piratical terms and sailing ship terms as you guys now have a mainsail, and that sounds great. The Bamfs all suddenly have three-corner hats.
Because of
And
course
are
they do.
not very useful for productive.
Kurt is still kind of, now that they're standing there, Kurt is still kind of focused on Belasco, and he's like, okay, so he can't be terribly far, this Nightcrawler, and also you need to be connected to him in some way. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to use the teleport. And so he starts. They'd already removed his cloak to do the sail, but he starts being like, so he starts checking to see like what necklaces he's wearing and like what things he has in his pockets and stuff like that to see if there's some sort of object.
Nice. I don't even think that's a card draw. You find hidden underneath his his little what does he have in the picture? Yeah, he's got. Oh yeah, we'll just look at the picture. I think I still have it up. Yeah, we got this cool, crazy armor-like outfit here. So he's got these obvious, weird pendant things on his necklace, but you move those aside, and you see that there is a smaller pendant. It's like a crystal with some kind of drop of blood looking thing inside it, and you definitely feel energy inside that. It feels familiar.
And so yep, Kurt will just take that and says, and like shows it to the other two Nightcrawlers. He says, "Yep, here we go."
That's nothing. It's only a gewgaw of some kind.
Oh, you won't mind if I take it then?
No, I don't mind in the least. So, Father Knight, as you guys are traveling along an impossible landscape after having fought actual demons, what are you doing?
I think Father Knight has kind of taken the last position in the travel group to make sure that we're not being followed or surprised by any creatures down here.
I think Nocturne comes back to sit on the weird floating rock at the edge. You look past, you look back. Father Knight, are you all right? You seem troubled.
Yes, I've seen many things in a short span of time, but being victorious with God's help only has strengthened my faith that this is where I'm supposed to be. Even though I had to leave the people behind that are trusting me, I hope I will be able to come back to them with new options. But right now, my place is here. It seems we have things to do here, things to accomplish. And whatever it is that brought me together with these other versions of me, it has to be God's plan. Don't you think?
I do. I think you're here for a reason. Very important.
It is. And where do you think we'll be coming? What uh, uh, I think I best prepare myself.
This Amanda seems to know the other Kurt. Seems as if they've tangled with this
Yes, they
demon
seem
before.
familiar. How do you know anything about this? How they got together like this? How where they might have met, where they might have interacted before?
Have you ever thought about people you've been with?
Well, I mean, there's a version of you where I'm from. I've thought a lot about what she means to me and what she is.
What do you think about her? Never been close to her, have you?
It's been difficult.
Are you embarrassed of her?
I cannot recognize her. It doesn't fit with my position.
You choose your position over her?
I have responsibilities for all these people. They rely on me.
What about your responsibilities to her? To you?
One day I will be able to fulfill them, but not right now, not while the others need me.
I hope they understand.
I hope to. But I would have never thought that this is where all of this would bring me to limbo, fighting demons with other versions of myself. We've come a long way.
Maybe when you get back home, you can reevaluate. Those people are worth the sacrifice.
Maybe I should.
That was good. I'm good with that. I don't need to go to cards unless there's something you want to mechanically get out of that. That was pretty cool.
I think that was good.
Anything else we want to do before we arrive at Amanda Sefton's palace? Do we want to is this a commercial break? Like take a bio break here? Let's do that. Awesome.
That works for me, though I do feel like Anesh has not been getting much spotlight time, and we are totally on a jury-rigged
agree.
pirate ship.
We should have a thing happen on a jury-rigged pirate ship. I agree. So before we arrive, we will have some limbo-related shenanigans that Captain Crawler can deal with. Thank you for that suggestion. That's an excellent idea. Cool. We'll do that when we come back. Let's take our mid-game bite. As it was pointed out before we took our break, this is the perfect opportunity for Captain Crawler to do some cool stuff to show off how awesome he is. So Andesh, we'll let you form this one, and also keep in mind that you have spotlight for our fourth and final episode. So any setups along those lines will be great. So is this a character scene or a plot scene?
I think this is a character scene because I feel like we have the plot kind of rolling with going to where we're going. Yeah,
Okay.
a character scene.
Character scene. Excellent. Then, there are multiple versions of Limbo, of course, because Marvel and the multiverse. There is one known as Limbo being one of the domains of Battle World, which had the Baron of Scott Summers. That's pretty wild. And characters such as the Goblin King and others. But that's just meandering Marvel.
That sounds very cool. It's part of the background lore that I'm not familiar with. So
Me too. Yep, but Limbo Other Place is the one that's linked to demons historically ruled by Belasco. It did not appear to be the Catholic Limbo, realm between or purgatory, sort of a pocket universe. Its physical and temporal scope was extremely limited compared to the universe that ordinary human beings inhabited. The center of the splinter realms. So what are some things that we have here? There are, wow, evidently at some point Limbo was infected by the techno-organic virus for Marvel Comics. Yeah. Primarily magical physical laws. I don't think another fight against demons is super interesting. So what is the sky-faring trouble that you imagine? If not, I can try to do something.
I'm trying to think of some like classic X-Men villain or threat that could be present here. And since we're doing multiverse stuff, it doesn't have to be like a canonical connection to Limbo. Just something that would be interesting.
Yeah, what's interesting? We could have. There was a mention with Asgard, so we could have some kind of Norse mythological threat that pokes its head into Limbo. We could.
I don't know what the threat is, but I feel like we could resolve it with some sort of race.
Oh, that's good. A race, yeah, that's interesting. That's something different.
That's at least a little piratical and gets away from some of the. We've already had a couple fights. So.
Yeah,
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, very cool. Definitely a race then. Are we like trying to escape from something, or is this like someone challenging us to a race? I feel like escaping something probably makes more sense.
Escaping something does sound interesting.
Yeah.
Escaping something sounds more logical, but do not let logic get in the way of a good story. That is also part of the Marvel way.
Yeah. Was kind of thinking of the Brood, those like alien, like
Wow, what a
alien.
The
wild
Brood
thing
in
to throw in
Limbo?
limbo.
What?
That's
Okay.
wild. That is too good to pass up. Oh, that's the best. So,
So like a brood, I don't remember much about them, but like a brood hive ship or something that has
oh shit, yeah.
that we have to run away from.
Adrian, to clue you in for all of our nerding, the Brood were kind of Marvel doing aliens stuff. Alien, like Aliens, Alien Predator, all that stuff. The Brood were a weird insectoid like alien that also could take over people, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they could like
that was
absorb
something.
powers and add them to the Brood or something like that. I forget exactly how it goes.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Brood are
they had some
insectoid
sort of
beings.
mental. I don't remember. Where is it like parasites or psychic powers? I don't remember which.
Mhm.
Yes, here we go. The Brood are insectoid beings who travel through space to find hosts to infect with their spawn, to infest with their spawn. They are a specialized race, one that has evolved to reproduce and consume any available resources. They are a race thousands of years old. Oh, that's insane. Yeah. Uh, oh wow, that's a very horrific picture that I'm going to show you. Uh, I don't know. Does that violate? Let me check our safety cards before I show this picture. Uh, I'll just drop this pic in the chat. Maybe we don't put it up, but it's a picture of a bunch of Brood with gigantic, nasty teeth and huge foreheads and red eyes. That is not pleasant. There we go. That's from Wolverine and the X-Men, according to the thing. Yeah. So we see this. I'm imagining a little bit like the Chitauri living ship that was at the end of Avengers. They use a bit of that look, but we see multiples of broods crawling and teeming along this thing as if it's some kind of giant larvae that's chasing after you guys and this gaping maw coming closer. Captain Crawler, is this a character scene or a plot scene?
Like I said, I think character scene.
Yeah, I
Just
agree.
because we
Sorry.
have feels like we have the plot in kind of in hand.
That's right. You'd already said that. I apologize.
Oh, it's fine.
Good. So then, just so we know what's at stake, I'd like to see a little bit of action before we hit cards, but just so we know how this works out with a character scene, you are looking to resist your impulse, and your impulse is impulsive. Sorry, that cracks me up. My impulse is that I'm impulsive. So it's, do you resist your impulsivity or you give in to it? And what does this look like as we see this gigantic Brood flying larvae thing coming closer towards you guys?
Yeah, I think it's Nocturne who spots it and like, uh, what what what's that? Should we be worried? And we try to make this flying rock go faster, basically. And I think what um, yeah, and this is when Captain Crawler has to like keep a cool head and make sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to do instead of just trying to do everything himself. And that's his struggle here, I think.
Dig
Yeah,
it.
and I
I
think
dig it.
Kurt, who has been sort of jaded about everything so far, takes a look at it and becomes visibly upset. Brood, Limo, how this even? De Blasco, I blame you.
I don't
You're
know
welcome.
what that is, but it seems like something we should avoid, right?
We need to
Aye,
get
aye, Cap.
Also should destroy them. Except I think we have a peace treaty with them now, but they're not looking very peaceful. Dude.
You have a peace treaty with that?
I was not part of that. The Brood Wars ended and we were done, and then, but now this.
Whatever it is, it doesn't look friendly.
Definitely not.
There's some exciting music swelling as the Brood ship comes closer with big gnashing teeth. And yeah, I want to see. So, what do we think is at stake here? I don't think it's about do you get captured.
No, since it is the character scene, I think, and it's centered on Captain Crawler, I think this is, like I said, whether he keeps his cool or tries to do something stupid and the others have to rescue him from it.
Okay. Does he remain the cool pirate, or does he have to get his butt saved? There's some
Yeah.
fun stakes for this particular moment. I like it. Okay, then I will spend some of my proverbial pool here, and we'll get things started. I'm going to spin. I want to see Captain Crawler struggle a little bit, so I'm spending 3. I'm getting 3 cards. Captain Crawler, you have a scene screen presence of 1, so you'll get 1 card right off the bat. Do you have any traits you want to use up here? Definitely are being a swashbuckling pirate.
I am a swashbuckling pirate. I'm going to use that. And I think Kitty Pride is helping me as well.
I agree. Mark this off. This is your big scene of the episode. I love it.
Yeah.
Secretly pulling for you. But I'm also your opposition. It's crazy. Cool.
Weird.
Do you want to spend any of your 2 fan mail?
No, I'm kind of fine. If this doesn't work out, that's fine. So I have my 3 cards. I trust Kitty. She'll save me.
Lot of pressure, Kurt. Cap. Okay. So then I'll pose to Marley and Adrian. Do either of you want to spend any fan mail to get cards? If not, that's okay.
I was going to, but it sounds like Anesh might actually be looking forward to failing this role. So,
all right. What about you, Adrian? You
Yeah,
good?
let's keep it this way.
All right. Boom. Flip your cards. And Dash, you've got your 3 cards here. Just flip those suckers out. And I will flip mine. Boom. Boom.
Ooh, I got the high card.
All
but
right.
I
You got the
don't
high
have more
card.
red.
So let's quickly go through that. This is a character scene. Do you have more red cards than the producer? No. Is your highest card higher than the producer? Yes. No, but. So you give in to your impulse, but there's a silver lining. Ooh, what does that look like when you give in to your impulse?
Yeah, I think I think Captain Crawler like tells Kitty, you have the rudder, and then he like starts leaping between these other flying rocks trying to lead the brood ship away. Because he wants the others to be safe. But think he's not fast enough. So they have to change course and get him out of trouble. But the silver lining is that their crazy maneuvering makes they have to go through like a narrow gap between in a canyon or something, and the brood ship gets stuck in there. So they do get away, but it's a bit embarrassing for Captain Crawler.
And since it's Old Man Kurt's spotlight, Old Man Kurt, how do you help pull Captain Crawler's can out of the fire here?
That is an interesting question. So I think he is genuinely freaked out by the brood. I think maybe some of the Offerenda people were in fact from the brood wars.
Sounds.
So I don't know if there's a canonical way one defeats broods, but I think what he does is he takes the sword, Amanda's sword, and ties some rope to it. Why do we have rope? Don't worry about it. But we have rope. And he swings it around and he flings it like a harpoon. And manages to spear the rock that Captain Crawler is on so that they can pull him in faster. And they all grab onto this rope and the crew all heaves to try and keep him right out of the snapping jaws of the brood.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's great. Good work, Old Man Kurt and Captain Crawler and Father Knight, working together with your erstwhile crew to avoid the random but fascinating threat of the brood. And then we speed along with you guys seeing the brood ship slamming into some part of limbo, becoming stuck. You get away. There's a. Imagine the Bamfs will all cheer excitedly, high five each other several times, and happier music plays as you arrive at the palace of Amanda Sefton, the erstwhile, or not erstwhile, but the occasional leader of Limbo, who evidently is having a little trouble right now with maintaining her. But hey, bringing that sword back will probably make a big dent. What are a couple of things I'm interested in each of you here helping to paint the scene of the arrival at this palace? What's some otherworldly aspect of this palace in Limbo that catches Father Knight's eye, fascinates him?
I think the decorations that we see at the entrance, which I think seem to be taken from a whole old church portal from 17th century England seems to have been transported here to this as an entrance.
Nice. What is something that Captain Crawler is amazed by? What do we see him wondering over here? Perhaps something tied to things we might see in next episode, if that's possible.
Oh. Think there are like banners of enemies that have been defeated, and there's a sentinel banner among.
Oh, nice. I like it. I like it. And what's something familiar to you, Kurt, that gives you a sense that while a lot of things may have evolved, not everything has changed?
So, um, by these banners, there's sort of like a bunch of lights, sort of lighting your path, and it looks very pleasant and beautiful to the uninitiated. But what Kurt knows is that those are the trapped souls of her enemies that she has defeated. Um, and he's also noticing that a few of them are empty, that really should not be.
Oh, escapees. That sounds fun, but problematic. Cool. The group of you arrive and quickly make your way past these captured souls that look very, very like beautiful baubles, if only you knew, and come into the spacious palace throne room, which I'm imagining overlooks parts of Limbo. So it's the palace itself floats. It does seem to have a gravity to it, so people can stand. They're not floating around. And Amanda Sefton is there, dressed as we see her in the supporting cast tab, in beautiful white and gold armor with a weird demon horn crown that she wears. She's not sitting on a throne when you arrive, but there is a throne behind her. There really are. Three of you.
Kurt was planning on making this very cool entrance, but he was actually very shaken by the brood. So he mostly comes in and starts babbling, and he's like, Amanda, you've got brood. Unless you've got those demons that manifest themselves as your worst possibly fear, possibly you have those, and that would probably be better because actual brood are a huge problem. Oh, we have your swords, Velasco.
Belasco? I hate Belasco. But I've already made arrangements. If you can hand me the sword, I'll send him to the portal where I'm going to keep him for now. I think those are actual brood. I'm sorry.
Wait, there's actual brood in Limbo? Like, they spread. It's like worse than termites, except
bad.
with lots of teeth and very deadly. And
Well, they're really just a distraction. I think Belasco let them in, part of some weird chicanery.
okay, do you need help with them? They really ravaged multiple worlds.
They do. I thought you were out of the game, Kurt.
Well, yeah, yeah, you're right, of course. You've got it. The younger generation has got it. Here's your sword.
She hesitates before she takes it from you. I wasn't saying no. I'm just a little surprised at the offer.
I don't know. Too many bad memories.
There were good memories too.
Yeah. Yeah, there were. You look well.
Sure, magic keeps a girl fit, you know.
Mhm.
Um, she casually finally reaches for the sword. Introduce me to your other selves, I guess.
Yes. This is Father Knight, some kind of 1600s-ish Catholic uprising priest sort of situation. And then we've got Captain Crawler over here, which, as far as I can tell, is your straight up Errol Flynn movie kind of world.
Kitty? And first mate Kitty. Yes? Oh wow. You're not my kitty? I don't, and Kitty says, no? Oh,
No, she's the
this,
Captain Crawler version.
oh, well, I'm sure. Huh. I miss our kitty.
She's very busy these days. Intergalactic negotiations and things.
Right. Uh, welcome to my palace. Do you all go by Kurt? Father Knight, Captain Crawler. It would get confusing, right? Welcome. Wow, it is so weird seeing three of you.
It's even weirder being one of three of us. I can tell you that.
Wow, Kurt, you really should think about shaving. I don't. It just. She points to Captain Crawler. Just saying that it's a good look.
You always did like me in my pirate phase.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look. Do you blame me?
Right. So about the other Kurtz, it turns out there's a fourth one, and holds up the G jaw from Velasco. So I don't know if you could manage some sort of tracking map, something like that. You can grab our fourth. I think that'll fix the problems and then send everybody home.
Okay. That seems simple enough.
Also setting up for Captain Crawler being the feature character in next episode, because now we can have a treasure map.
We can have a treasure map. Oh man, that sounds fun.
Mhm.
Treasure map. Oh, I can't resist it. So let's see here. Are we in a plot scene or are we in a character scene? Which is bad at asking that question at the top of scenes.
I think we're fundamentally in a character scene. I mean, we'll need a little bit of plot to kick the next episode off, but
Okay. Then
I mean, plot stuff is happening, but I feel like that's not the heart of that
oh yeah, plot's
interaction.
always gonna happen. It's gotta happen. I agree. So let's figure out what I think your impulses, Old Man Kurt's impulses, are at stake here. Fatalistic to you as she works on a Google, works on the Google to find a treasure map. I guess the question is, are you going to buy into this, Old Man Kurt, and put aside your fatalism? Or is that an interesting question? Because I don't want to come up with stakes that at a fail say you don't get to play anymore. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, I think
So,
it's not so much that whether or not he helps. I think it is whether or not he's got sort of this interesting opportunity to sort of re-examine how he was as a younger self in the version of these two other multiverse
mhm.
characters, and whether or not he sort of takes that opportunity for character growth or just kind of rejects it as his younger, stupider selves.
Okay,
That's a little
I'm interested
abstract,
in that.
but that's the best I got.
I like it though. It is abstract, but we'll see if we can pull it back in to be something cinematic after we flip some cards.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're near the end, so I'm going to spend a lot. Try to throw you into trouble. All right, let's recall and shuffle. These all become part of the gargantuan audience pool. As I spend 4. So, old man Kurt, you start off with 3. Are there any edges you wanted to use, or
Well,
traits?
obviously, we've got Amanda.
We certainly do. Let's give you another card for Amanda.
Let's give you some fan mail as well.
Yeah, I think I'll spend some fan mail as well.
I'll spend one too.
Nice.
Oops.
Actually, let's just
It-
put. Oh, where'd it go? All right, cool. So that one's yours, and that one's yours. All right. Any other edge or traits you want to use? If not, I'll deal myself cards.
Nope, I think that's good.
That is a lot of cards. Let's see how it goes. All right, deal my 4. All right, let's flip these fan mail first. See if any reds come up. There's a red. Boom, that's back in my budget. That goes away. As does that. All right. Go ahead, Marley, if you want to flip your cards. There's a red for me. Oh, we're even up, and you have the highest card for sure. Oh, 2 red. All right. You need 1 more red, and you're definitely.
Yeah, I got it.
Got it. Woo. All right. That is awesome. We're in a character scene. Even though plot is happening, you have more red cards than the producer, and your highest card is higher than the producer's. You resist your impulse, and everything goes your way.
Okay. Um,
Yeah.
what does that look
What's
like
this?
here?
Yeah.
So I think he's actually going to sit with Amanda while she's working.
Mm-hmm.
And watch her work quietly for a while, and then say, um, it's ridiculous, right? The idea of me being back in the game.
Why?
It's for the kids. It's for the next generation.
Oh, who's going to guide the next generation other than the last generation?
I mean, did we really do that much good? We fought the brood for so long, and now they're our friends. Seems you overthrow one despot and they're just being replaced by another.
You're not wrong. What's the alternative? We just give in? stop fighting? What happens then? What about the people who have been able to have a life? Be happy. Grow old. Because we kept the literal demons at bay.
So much cost, Amanda. How old would Jubilee have been? She hadn't died the way she did. I think she would have been 50. Could you imagine her a grandmother? She would have rocked it.
She would have been a pretty great grandma. But think about all the grandmas who are here. Sure, they may not be the ones you wanted, but the universe makes those decisions, we don't. You were a lot sexier when you didn't give up, just so you know. These other Nightcrawlers are kind of hot.
Amanda Sefton, Queen of Limbo. Are you flirting with me?
Maybe? Is it working?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is.
And I definitely.
Shave the beard, you said?
Only if you want to. I could work around it. As long as it's not that
Oh.
scratchy kind of beard. Is it soft? She'll reach a hand out to. Oh.
He'll move closer and say, "You tell me."
Yeah. It's softer than it looks. Guess I could allow it. It's my royal decree. You can have facial hair if you so deem.
Your wish is my command.
Ah, music to my ears. It's one of the few perks that I get. Limbo's not the kind of place you normally want to rule. I'm just saying.
I have sometimes wondered why you do it. But I think the answer is, well, who else would?
Exactly. I got the shortest straw, so it's me or demons, and the demons seem to do worse job than I do. Well, I've got a good bit of work to do. I think Kurt, and Kurt, you should rest. And enjoy yourselves. There is food, drink, if you need it. Kurt, she gestures to you. You know your way around. I just need a bit of time to work on this, and you see magic and Kirby bubbles and the like as she starts working on the Google that you took from Belasco.
Before she goes fully back to what she's doing, we will see a little bit of what Kurt would have been like when he was younger, as he carefully takes her hand and, in an elaborate bow, kisses the back of it, and then says, "I will see you later."
Look forward to it. Cool. So, checking in, do we want, because I've got like little tag scene of, oh, now we've got the thing and here's the treasure map. to end up? Are there any scenes that we want to nestle in there before that revelation?
I'm good.
Yeah, I think I mean, she did hand us like some interesting downtime in Limbo if anyone wants to explore any other character interactions, which I'm totally game for, but I'm also having just I thought that scene was cool, so
I
not
liked
sure
the
I'm
scene.
particularly going out of my way for them.
Okay. Then there are probably some scenes that are shot, but they don't make it to the um, the episode on Disney Plus. It'll probably show up in a director's cut version that we don't have to watch because it's not exactly canon. And we cut into the three of you and all of the other supporting cast: Kitty, Nocturne, the Bamfs, all sitting around some large table, having eaten a lot of food. There are many plates that have been thrown, all by Bamfs, of course, because one of them threw it down and threw a plate down and it crashed, and they all thought that was a great sound. So they all did that for a little bit. And Amanda Sefton comes into the room, and she's holding the weird pendant in her hand, and she says, "Well, I've found the fourth," and up this like image of this person comes along, and then we see her on the bow of a sailing ship, and she says, "I believe if you can connect with her, you can figure out what Belasco's trying to unlock." I I'd love to come with you, Kurt, but I do have this brood thing.
All right. Perhaps I'll stop by afterwards and tell you how it all went.
Like that. And she pulls from her ear, not like pulls from her ear an earring. She says, "You can use this to communicate with me. I'll send whatever help I can." And
Thank you.
I think, is there anything more you wanted out of this little scene at the end?
Yeah, I feel like perhaps the episode closes on all of us coming together again to try and teleport um, to this fourth Nightcrawler, and the episode ends in a Bamf.
Nice. Yes, a Bamf, and then this like the musical backdrop of the sound of sailing ships in the ocean and the like, and a giggle from a Bamf because we can't resist such things. Cool. So that was a thing. We don't have any end of season or end of session mechanics, so we can just jump straight into stars and wishes. We'll start with wishes so that we can end with stars. Who'd like to kick off with wishes for our final episode of the Nightcrawler series?
Of course, we want to figure out who the fourth one actually is, but maybe also some more about Nocturne and her role.
Yeah, I'd like to explore that as well. Andesh or Marley, any wishes that you have?
I'm not sure I have any specific wishes. I feel like that was a nice little character arc for Old Man Kurt in this episode. I'm not sure we have a lot of loose ends we need to tie up with him. So just happy to be looking forward to whatever's going on, and of course curious to learn all the stuff about Belasco's fiendish plan and who this final Nightcrawler is and such like.
Cool. And then what about you, Andesh? Any wishes?
I don't think I had anything specific either. Just to see where everything goes and find out where we all, or where each of us ends up after this. If we go back to our own worlds, or if we end up somewhere.
Yes, the wrap up. Where are they now? I'm quite excited with that. So everyone, please do thinking about that. Good. Okay. And as she went last with wishes, you get to go first with stars. Did you have any stars from today's episode?
Yeah, I mean, I've given up for most of them, but I enjoyed everything going on with Limbo, and especially actually Old Man Kurt's relationship with Amanda Sefton. That was a lot of fun. And Adrian, I like bringing in the church, the church port door for the castle. That was very cool. I like having these I don't know, callbacks, references to our various worlds in these places we come to. So I like how you highlighted those fun. And yeah, for everyone like jumping into the action and playing around with the character.
Cool. Thank you, Andesh. Marley, did you have any stars?
Oh, I enjoyed this one a lot. I really liked um, Franklin Richards' awkward dismissiveness. It's like on the one hand, like I'm taking your calls, I'm kind of doing it here in front of my parents, and this is really just not rating right now. I thought fed into a lot of Old Man Kurt's issues very nicely. I wasn't entirely sure what was going on with Nocturne in Father Knight's world, but to hear that he actually does have it, I think that the outcome was that he actually does admit to having a illegitimate daughter of some kind. And that was I was not expecting that. That was a cool revelation. Um, and then of course Captain Crawler going around I loved the idea of like using Velasco's cape as a sail on one of these floating rocks. It's like, yes, we can make a ship anywhere. That is just how we do. So
I
yeah,
love
it was
that.
a lot of
That was
fun.
awesome. That was great. All right, Adrian, bring us home. Any stars that you had that haven't been shared?
I think everything with the brood gave it kind of an extra angle, something extra to Limbo, but also in general, like fighting actual demons, of course, for Father Night was a special experience, I think. Yeah, and then I think also this, like almost like a homecoming and hinting at the deep history of Amanda and Old Man Kurt. I think that was great.
Yes, this was very solid episode that had a lot of highlights. I super enjoyed Father Knight and Nocturne's conversation, Old Man Kurt and Amanda Sefton's odd relationship that started awkward and then found a new way to exist. I thought that was great and a nice wrap up for Old Man Curse Spotlight episode. I quite like Captain Crawler. Like Captain Crawler is that swashbuckling Nightcrawler that I adore. So thank you, huge star to Marley for suggesting piratical stuff. And then I think it was Undesh who suggested Brood, but geez, Brood, wow, that's Brood in Limbo is just terrifying, and that may end up being an MCU Sundays series later, but it would probably be OSR-ish because horror and body horror and the like from the Brood. So good stuff. Thank you all so much for playing. We just have one more episode left that will be our series finale. I'm looking forward to it next week. That will bring the recording to a close.